All right, part two is finally here. Seriously, between the knee, the migraines, taking care of families, the new puppy, life's crazy. But we have to keep going on this because she's about to get even a little bit more ridiculous, if you can believe that. So let's do at least another 15 minutes, don't you think?
Message everybody in the, well, oh my God, there's like it's like you're a miracle worker. No, you didn't. You're like lying to yourself. You're saying it because you're like, well, I messaged everybody that I wanted to. I messaged those 5 people that I felt really comfortable, that I didn't know them personally. So I just messaged them and they said no. So I'm done. I messaged everybody. That's so step number 1, literally message everybody, but don't ever prejudge people. Okay. And especially for my newbies.
Hold on. Did she say just don't prejudge people? Okay, so how are you going to be targeting your 70 million people? Aren't you going to have to judge them based on their picture to see if they are overweight or obese? Don't prejudge anyone, but the last 15 minutes you've been telling me to judge people? Ma'am, you can't have it both ways. So don't judge when it suits you, but judge when it's going to help your business. That is so predatory.
That are starting, and even, pass on. I have met people in this, like I didn't message Jessica from high school, or I didn't whatever. And then Jessica from high school ends up messaging me 2 years later and saying, I need to do what you do. I hate my body. And I'm like, what? And then I go to her Facebook and I'm like, but all your pictures are like, you're beautiful and you're, what I mean? You're skinny. And like, I didn't think, why would you want to join me? And no, it's like, you don't know what's going on in people's lives. You can never prejudge people and you don't know who's.
Exactly. You don't know what's going on in people's lives. You don't know their health conditions. You don't know their mental health. Yet you're going to message them and be like, have you ever thought of going on a health and weight loss journey? Are you telling me that I need to lose weight? And maybe I'm already struggling. And now you just heaped that on? No, that's not how this works. And if you would listen, she also said, she messaged me 2 years later. Yeah, she knew that you did it. And when she was ready, she came to you. That's how it should be.
Looking at you. I promise you, if you're posting good stuff, people are looking at you and they're like, I want to be a part of what you're doing. I wish I could do that. But like, people don't have the guts to message you. They just don't. Like, I don't. Like, I would have never. See, it's just not something that we post on Facebook. I think you guys have to remember that too, is that something that we don't post on Facebook. Like, we post our highlight reel, which is great. I think you should post your highlight reel. I hate when people say like, don't post your highlight reel. I'm like, yeah, whatever. No one wants to see your ugly pictures. We want to see the pretty. It's fun. Okay. Get real sometimes with people, but like, nobody wants to see, I don't want to see your messy room.
So don't be honest with people. Don't let them know what's really going on. Just make sure you're showing those highlights. What? This woman.
Like, don't, you look like a hot mess. Like, let's, keep it going. But you have to remember that when you're sending the messages that Jessica from high school isn't going to post ugly pictures either. She's going to post at the right angle when she feels good or whatever, but she needs you to send her a message because otherwise she does not have the guts to message you. Nobody's going to post on Facebook and be like, wow, I looked in the mirror and I hated myself today. Does anybody want to sell me a challenge pack? I would really like to join.
No, but they may post, hey, I am really looking for a way to get healthy. Does anyone have any recommendations? And hopefully they put on the end, not an MLM.
Your challenger. Nobody's going to say that, right? So it's almost like you have to have this confidence and say, I'm going to take one for the team. You could literally post that on I'm going to take one for the team here. And I'm going to send that first message. I don't know. She might not pick it up, but if by chance I meet one of the 70 million people that have obese or of 36% of the people that are depressed and
that have obese, now she's just making all kinds. Oh man. Or also targeting those that have depression. No, when I was ready, I actually did message my coach. It didn't take guts to do so.
Happens to go into her box and she's not feeling in a certain way, she's going to know she has a place to come to. She might not come today. She might not come tomorrow. Like, guys, I've had 6 years. I've had people that signed up from 6 years ago And I'm always like, I feel like it's such a win. I always tell my husband, I'm like, that girl from, I messaged when I first started, I sent this long, awful message. She ended up like signing up. And, you think, man, wow, 6 years took you to get one person. But to me, it felt like such a win because I'm like, wow, I really gained her trust. Like she needed that and she needed somewhere to go. And she didn't go with the new coach that ended up quitting 2 weeks later. She went with Farron Duran, who's been showing up every single day, showing her that she can. And that's what you want to be. So, all right. So what do we do? So how do we do these connections? And so I've been doing it for 6 years now of building connections. So at this point, right, I should be out. I should be like out of all the people, right? Got all my people from high school. So I did more math here.
Why is she so obsessed with high school? Ma'am, I think you need to move on.
And more things. So right now on Facebook, there are 2.912 billion people on Facebook, and there's 1 billion on Instagram. So like maybe you need to write that up because every time you're like, shit, I can't, there's no one to talk to. Well, there's 4 billion people you could talk to. So like for free, like
4 billion people. You are going to just target every single person on Instagram and Facebook. It's a great way to get your account banned.
You don't have to, you just get on Instagram and you send a message, right? I get messages from guys saying, can I be your sugar daddy? If that guy can send me that message with my hot husband in my pictures, like, hey, you can do anything, girl. Like
she probably thought about it though when, her husband got laid off.
Can do anything. You can send that message, like you should join my fitness group. If this guy wants me to be his sugar mama or he wants to be my sugar daddy, like if he has the guts to send that message, we can do it. Hard things. Okay. We can do this. And it's 4 billion people. So one person said no. Damn, one person. Well, now I have whatever, other billion other people to message, right? So remember, there's no shortage of people.
You do not have 1 billion people. Sorry, my dog needs in here, so you may start hearing some sounds.
There's no shortage of people and there's no shortage of success out there. And I think one of the biggest things in this business is watching people be successful. And in the beginning, I was like, oh crap, so-and-so already did this. I don't know if I can do it. I changed that mindset now to like, okay, Irene did it. That means I can too. One woman doing it is.
And here's the thing. Grover, come here. Come here, baby. Come here. Here's the thing. 6 years ago, there were more people to talk to. Why? Because not as many people knew about the scam that was coming at them. So, no, you should have, yes, those that got in early are the ones who are now the top of the company. Why? Because they got in early and they are at the tippy top and they don't have to do as much. Come here, buddy. You guys, he's huge. They don't have to do as much because they are at the tippy top because they talked to people when it was still a good thing.
Proof that you can do it. Irene didn't take all the people. She didn't take 4 billion people, right? So she doesn't have a team of 4 billion. So you're like, crap. Okay. She did it, which means it can be done. And I can do it too. Yeah. I wish 4 billion. Holy crap. How much money would you make? 4 billion challenge packs.
Okay. So the funny part is she's telling you all of these things. Guess what? She didn't even make Elite last year. Elite and Premier are the top Beachbody coaches. I think they have around 500 of them. She's not in any of those groups. So how's that going? Interesting.
So like new goals, we're all up in it right now. Okay. So how do I build connections over 6 years? So a big thing for me is, I wrote a gratitude journal, and when I that kind of made it like, okay, here I go. Cause I had my own product at that point. And then I realized, holy crap, like that's my brand. Like I have this journal, this is my book. And when people were commenting about my book or they were tagging me or whatever, I was shouting them out. And I felt so much love for these people. And then I was like, you know what? That is exactly what Beachbody is. You need to take Beachbody and as your own little brand and have so much freaking love for that brand that you want to shout it out, that you want to talk about it, and you want to connect with those people. So every time somebody comments on my journal, I have my journal page, and when they comment on it, then I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. It means so much to me. Like when people finish my journal, I send them like a sticker and I send them a thank you.
Okay, so, and I find this quite frequently. You should come up with a different way. Like she has this journal that she markets, and she uses that to funnel into her Beachbody. And the way that into her Beachbody group, the way that it feels to me right now, I don't dare watch stories, comment on posts, because it's just another way for them to target you.
Okay, because it's my baby product. We should be doing the same exact thing with Beachbody, right? Like, okay, this is your baby product. This is you. Now, I'm a very big believer in like, I don't usually say a whole lot of Beachbody this, Shakeology that, only because sometimes I think for my people, it seems like it could turn people away. I want people to come to me for me. I am Farron.
Can we talk about that for a second? There are an insane number of coaches who have it rebranded. The number one coach right now, all she talks about is joining my, what does she call it, a fit gym or something. She rarely ever mentions Beachbody. They have been told specifically not to mention Beachbody because people are going to prejudge. Yeah, because your company has a crappy reputation.
I'm Farron Duran. That's it. I want them to want to join me for Farron Duran, not because of Beachbody. Everything I talk about has to do with my groups. Nothing is about Beachbody. Nothing is about, unless we get into coaching, we talk about it. But for me personally, like I will say everything is about my groups because that is you. Like, yes, you use Beachbody products, right? But when people say, oh, what do you do? I don't say I do Beachbody. Oh, what do I do? Oh, what do you do? I actually run fitness accountability groups and I help women reach their goals and reach their full potential. Like it's so awesome. Have you ever been in an accountability group before? They don't even know I do Beachbody until I send them the link. And then they're like, oh, it's Beachbody? Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm like,
okay, can you guys comment below? Does that sound deceptive to you? To me, that sounds super deceptive. I want you to purchase this program, but I'm not going to tell you what the program is until like you've agreed to it. That's deceptive. How can you feel good about that? I guess it's the money.
Yeah, like, I run my own groups. Beachbody doesn't touch my groups. They don't run them. Uncle Carl's not in there. Like that is my group. And then, but I'm like, but I use yeah, of course I use Beachbody products, right? I always remember Katie Ursus saying like, if you hired a plumber, the plumber would come, but the plumber still needs his tools, right? So like you still got to pay for the tools. Like you still need his tools. Same with like Beachbody, right? Like we're coming, we're going to help you. You still need the tools to get the results, right? You're not just going to get results out of thin air, right?
Here's the difference. A plumber has training. A plumber knows what he's doing. He had to go to school. You have no training. Most of them, let's be real, most of them do not. You don't have training. You don't know what you're doing. And Beachbody is what you are selling.
Clearly they need you because you could get, if people wanted to do a workout, I could Google 1 billion different running workouts or free workouts and 1 billion free recipes. There's no shortage. Like it's not. So if there's ever like a money thing, it's not about money because they would have already done it. It's motivation. They need it. They need to invest in something and they need that support and accountability coach, which is you. They need you or they would already be doing it. Okay. So what I have done over the past 6 years is I wrote this down. I was like, okay, what have I done? And I was sitting here and I was like, I just wrote, be a good human. And so that's really what I've done.
You are not a good human. You are targeting anybody who you consider to be obese and overweight and people that may have depression. You are not a good human, my friend.
Honestly, for the past 6 years I've never missed a month of hitting Success Club. So I don't know, it's like 70 some months, but.
So she's a good human because she has sales. I don't think,
but it's be a good human. I wrote that down because I'm like, I just give love. Like, how do you build connections, right? You just give love to people. Like you have to love this business and what we do so much that you're like, I'm Tennille, my friend Tennille's on here and I know she would say the same damn thing. She'd do it if it was for free. She said, she actually told Carl came to an event. He was like, would you do it for free? She's like, yep. And then he was like, okay, well, would you like to make some money? But
here's the thing though. Most of the coaches are doing, Grover, most of the coaches are doing it for free. That's part of the problem. They are not getting paid to do it. They just have to pay money for the products.
Like that's kind of has to be like, would you love to watch women feel good about themselves? Yeah, hell yeah, I would do that for free too. But is it great that we get to make money from it? Heck freaking yes. But so most of the part of what I do is just be a good human. I'm like touching it because I'm like, this is all that it is every single day. So what I do to be a good human and to build connections are every single day I get on. So I love to give you something tangible, something that you can do. Is I get on my phone when I'm getting ready to do business. I look at something positive that speaks to me. Again, it should be everybody deserves to feel like this, how you feel right now in your skin. And then what I do is I do my birthdays. I do it religiously. I say happy birthday to everybody. That is also a connection. So imagine this. If
I remember doing that. I'm going to say happy birthday and strike up a conversation and hope that coaching or fitness can come into the conversation. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. That's gross.
Every single day for 365 days, you sent a happy birthday message. You would have reached everybody on your friends list. Then you could be like, Farron, I actually did talk to everybody. Okay, I did. So that's what it is. So I send that birthday message every single day, but every single day, I also friend 5 new people. So what I do is every single day, I grab my phone out. I do it on my phone because it's easier and faster for me. I go and I type in birthdays. Happy birthday. Hope you have a happy and healthy year ahead. That's my daily thing. That is part of being a good human. I do that because like ladies, I can't tell you how many people I message and I say happy birthday. And and then they'll write back, thank you so much. Some people say nothing. And I'm like, okay, well, I won't say that again. But then I say like, they'll write back, thank you. And I say, did you do
maybe because they're scared to talk to you because they know a pitch is coming. Like, come on.
anything fun? I'm just a human. I'm not a Beachbody coach. I'm just a human. And I said, you do anything fun? And oh my gosh, like literally 90% of women would be like, no, I didn't do anything. It's just another day. Like today, people said that. And I'm like, I said this before in a call. I think Kat was on it too. I'm like, I see a husband and some kids in that picture. Like, you better go talk to that husband and kids about why he didn't do anything for you for your birthday. But also I'm like, it kills me, right? Because I'm like, what the hell? Like, what did you marry? Like, nobody did anything for you for your birthday. And I feel for this woman. Like, I literally feel for her. So that's my opportunity to hype people up. So I say, that's my time when they say I didn't do no, I didn't do anything, or just another day. I'm like, no, girlfriend. I'm like, this is the day you celebrate your life. I don't say anything about Beachbody. I'm just saying, like, girl, you have to celebrate.
She is truly teaching you how to manipulate somebody's feelings. This is next level. You are not doing this because you are a good human. You are doing this because you want a sale. That's it. This is gross. Can I tell you guys what I do with my birthday lists now? Every time a birthday comes up, I pull it up and I say, is this someone that if I saw them in real life, I would approach them and wish them a happy birthday? If they are, then I send them a happy birthday. No strings attached. If I would never walk up to them and say that in real life, then I delete them as a friend. And that is my birthday gift to them. I'm going to bless and release because I probably friended you with the sole purpose of getting a sale. Yikes.
And then I give her love, and that's it. Sometimes I put like a gift or whatever. And then I let it go. Right. But I want her to know that last time she heard from Farron Duran, I was hyping her up to live her best life. And then I hope she went and like told her husband, like, what the hell? Why did you not do anything? You freaking jerk. And like, because that's what I do. I'd be like, no. So, but it's sad though, that you're talking to women that are like, nobody did anything for them. Right. So then we're getting sad that they didn't buy a challenge pack. Well, they also have like a shit husband who didn't do anything for them. So like life isn't always easy.
Okay. For someone who says never prejudge, she sure is judging people all over the place.
For everybody. And you have to remember that. So I send my birthday messages. And then while I'm doing my birthdays, that's also when I unfriend people. So that's kind of part of my like unconnections is I usually unfriend men because men, for me, it's just like not my thing to message them. So if it's like a guy that I don't know why he's on my friends list, I unfriend him. But if you do great with like talking to men, like keep him on, send him a birthday message and ask why his wife didn't do anything for him. And then I send that, and then I unfriend, if I've sent them like 4 birthday messages and they don't write me back, like I'll do that. Like it's every year, it's like, here's Farron again. And I can see that they saw, like, I'll unfriend them. Because I'm like, at this point, like they obviously have never interacted with me.
But didn't she say she had to wait for 6 years for her friend, her high school friend or whatever, to message her? So maybe she's just doing that too early. I mean, maybe she needs to play the long game more.
And it's not someone that I know. It's like, maybe someone just I friended, then I'll unfriend them, because you get a max of 5,000 friends on your Facebook list. Right. So right at this moment, if you were ever like, oh my gosh, I'm running out of people, and you're not at your max, then you're like, I'm going to take that back, and I'm going to hit my max, and then we'll talk. So what you can hit up to 5,000. So I'll like hit 5 and then I go down, I hit 5 and I go down. But I knew the moment that I hit 5 that I was doing my job, that I was friending 5 people a day. So what I do is I unfriend people at that moment. Or anyone who has like duck lips. Usually if they're not my person, I like usually unfriend them. I'm like, no, because I want to, like, the people who I friend are people that I like plan on hanging out with at retreats and being best friends with. So we're going to snuggle, big spoon, little spoon. So if you're not someone that looks like you could be like big spoon, little spoon.
I can tell you this right now. I didn't snuggle with anyone on my retreat. Didn't snuggle with anyone. That's weird. That's weird. But the problem is, she is saying, you want people who are just like you. Okay, but then aren't you hiring your competition? Because you're going to tell them to get people who are just like them, but you're trying to get people who are just like them. You are recruiting your competition. You're recruiting your competition.
And I want you in my house. You got to go. So I'm like, okay, no. So then I move on. So then I unfriend. Then I go and friend 5 new people. So this is a great part of like, how do you build these connections? Okay, Farron, how do you friggin' find these new people? Really? Like, right? How do you find them? So the best thing I can tell you is how I find people is, I also do healthcare. And so sometimes I'll just go into a healthcare group, and I lately have been, I'm going to just say it, but there's like controversial subjects that come up all the time in every group out there. So it's really easy to find who your people are, like at this moment. So it doesn't like matter what side you're on. I'm in those groups. I'll have to type in as a word that starts with a D, ends with scene, and then I type it in, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna see who my people are, and if you're acting like a crazy person, and I just friend, I friend those people. I'm like, thank you, you did so good. Oh my gosh, I saw your comment.
How predatory. So this is why so many people now don't dare get in groups. They don't dare go to groups. They don't dare comment. They don't dare say anything, because then you comment and then you immediately start getting messages, and they're not going to send it to you in the group. Like, they're not going to comment in the group, because then they are going to get kicked out, because most of the groups do have rules around this. But you're going to DM them, and that's why you see everyone that when someone's like, ooh, I'd like to know more about that. And they're like, ooh, I'll send you a message. Oh my gosh, just tell me what it is. But they don't want to say it.
That's literally what I do, is like, I'm in there and I just try to find my people. And so Sarah's, I swear a lot of that was how I was like, yeah, she's my coach. Okay, good. All right. So that worked. Big spoon, little spoon. Yes. So, but that's what I do is find something about you. It doesn't have to be some controversial subject, but right now is really easy for me to be like, okay, I can easily find out who my people are. So for you, it could be, whatever. I know my one friend, she is her husband is a police officer. So I'm like, get in the police officer wives groups, like get in there and just, stuff. So find, and this is actually a tip Melanie Mitchell gave us back in like 6-7 years ago. And she said she was in a group one time, and then she asked a question, and then she friend people. So I try not to be real like creeper with this, but I will, like, maybe I'm in a families who travel group. So when I go in, and maybe I'll ask a question like, where should I go for my next travel? If people comment, then I always click like, and then I friend them. And so especially if I'm like, oh, they look cool, like, oh, that's awesome, thank you so much for that. And then I friend them. I don't do anything with that friendship. Once they accept it, it sits there. Like, it sits there until they like or comment on something of mine. So it's not like I'm friending them and they'd be like, by the way, do you want to buy a challenge pack? I let it sit. So that's the connections. That's like, okay, I invited you into my space. right? I invite you to the auditorium. There might be a show here. It's cool. And then if you give me a round of applause, then we're going to chat. But for right then, they just sit. So if you do that, I do a minimum of 5 a day. So I literally friend. Like at this point, between birthdays, if you do unfriend people and then you're, friending 5 people, this should take you literally 5 minutes. So you should have connections in 5 minutes. You send out birthdays. If I miss yesterday's birthday, I sent out happy belated birthday. So, don't feel so, I think you can miss up to 2 birthdays and then it will keep them track for you on Facebook. So that's what I do. So I'm very much like a Facebook girl. So I can, and that's where
All right, so we are going to pause there. It's funny to me that she said, I don't want to be a creeper. You just gave us the definition of creeper in all of your stuff, ma'am. So no, you don't get to say that now. It really is important to share the behaviors that these coaches teach, because when they say that they're not predatory, you are actually teaching people how to be predatory. You're teaching them that. Friends, don't let your friends join an MLM. Please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and feelings, and I will be back for parts 3 and 4. Thanks, guys.